Welcome, my name is Georgina and I'm a priestess of Avalon. I'm also a qualified celebrant. My absolute honour and joy is to conduct handfastings. What are handfastings? Well, they're ancient forms of marriage, way long before there were churches and priests and patriarchal religion, long before that anybody knew that they had to stand in an aisle and be married by a vicar. This is going back to when our ancestors would marry out in the open, out in the fields, the pastures, the woods, and they would give promises and pledges to each other, and their witnesses would be the elements: air, fire, water, earth, because those were the things that kept them alive, and so therefore it was very sacred. And I love to continue this tradition today, and every handfasting I do is bespoke to what everybody wants, because every couple is different and everybody wants different things. And we follow the elements around in the altar that I provide. I create a circle of flowers for you to stand in, and you can have as many guests or no guests as you like. That is the beauty of it. There is no I must, I should, I have to, I ought to. This is your perfect day to run how you want and to have what you want to include, whether it's live music, recorded music, poems, statements by family or friends. They can have anything you want. Traditionally, handfastings used to last for a year and a day, and that was because at the turn of medieval times, when priests and Christianity started to take hold, then you might not see a priest for about a year because they wandered from town to town. There were no churches. So it might be about a year until you saw them again, and you'd repledge your vows then to the priest in the Christian way. But prior to that, you would have got married in the traditional way. Some people say it's because mead takes a year and a day to ferment, and therefore it's always a good time to renew your vows, and I couldn't disagree with that. So there's a lot of myths and legends as to why it was a year and a day, and you can do it for eternity. Beware, that's a long time. Or you can do it for as long as love lasts, or whatever your chosen words are. And that is the beauty of the handfasting. You choose your own vows. You write your own vows. They're your words, your commitments, not what I think you should say to each other. And that's why it's so personal to you, and it's so beautiful. Very few walk away from handfastings without crying, because it's such a beautiful ceremony. And at the very end, I give away all the flowers that are in the circle. I give them away to your guests, and to ask them to give it to somebody they love, or to pass it on to somebody who they think needs love. So the circle is broken up with love. I can make a bees and broom for you in beautiful colours to match what you're wearing. And a lot of people choose the symbols of how they want to be bound. The tradition is today, we call marriages when you tie the knot. Well, the tying the knot comes from being bound in a handfasting. So consequently, you can either just have the cords or the ribbons to tie your hand, or you can have a hoop and a wand, which represents the female and the male coming together. Or if you're of your mixed marriages, then you can have two wands or two hoops. It doesn't really matter. Love is love, and there is no judgment from handfastings as to who and who should not be married. That's the beauty of it. So you can choose your way of being bound, and that is tying the knot. And you jump the broom if you wish, and you come in to the circle at the beginning under the broom. So there are all meanings and traditions to this, and it all has a place in myths and legends, but in actual fact with our ancestors. So you're connecting with your ancestors during your ceremony, and we can call them in as well, which I always feel is very powerful, as we're calling in air, fire, water, earth. And I bring with me the elements. I bring incense that I specially make for you for the day and you take home. I make anointment oil, which is an aphrodisiac, and you take that home with you, and a candle which is lit from the flame of Avalon. I also give you the chalice well waters of the red and the white spring, and a rose crystal quartz for representing earth. So it's such a beautiful ceremony, and it's so lovely. And there is a clip of me on YouTube which you can see. It's the full ceremony, or if you go onto my website, you'll see an abbreviated version. I travel anywhere to do handfastings. I go abroad, I go all over the country, and so it's always worth giving me a ring and asking me, and it would be such an honour. It really is. So I really do love to be part of your wonderful day. And once I get involved with families with this, it leads to baby namings, and sadly it sometimes leads to funerals, but that's always a celebration of somebody's life and a time to celebrate what they have done and what they have taught you. So these are part of the celebrations that I offer you. And also I can do civil weddings because I am qualified to do it. So if there's anything that you need, this is your special day, and it should be a day to remember and to celebrate. And I so look forward to being part of it. So